tournaments where whoever gets kind of like the better initiator does come out ahead. And now we do have the draft underway. Bans are out.
Oh boy.
Wisp, of course, not a surprise to be banned. Lycan is, of course, as well from Fnatic, but this time,
Disruptor.
the Lifestealer
Disruptor ban
through
as well, which is not that common, it has to be said. It's become more popular in terms of picks, but not that common to ban out in the first phase. But, as you rightly said, it's lets the Lifestealer come through. And just has such phenomenal win rate stats right now at this major.
Fnatic didn't have...
Okay, this is, by the way, this is the most important thing here. I don't think you can let Liquid have the Lifestealer Beastmaster open. By doing this, I think you had to take the Beastmaster first phase.
What about Lifestealer Ricky? Do they let them have that?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, instantly. Like, it's been super potent versus the Beastmaster, especially on the main stage. We saw it multiple times. These are two very safe picks as well. They're on the dire side for Fnatic now. Liquid just really been heavily favoring that Slardar on my control.
Instant pick.
No hesitation.
He played it really well. I think one of my favorite things about that last game is that they were always anticipating DJ counter-initiating when somebody went in. One hero would go in, they'd approach, they'd back off for the counter-initiation. DJ would only catch one hero, and then they would punish with Disruptor repeatedly. They got so many Disruptor kills.
Fnatic had interesting ideas, though, versus the Lifestealer. We saw them bust out the Medusa, I think multiple times, I think 3 times so far this tournament, and they also were the ones that pulled out the Terror Blade. And they ran both together in one lineup, which I think nobody would ever expect that.
Well, mid Medusa is an idea that Fnatic has explored, I think, 3 times in this tournament, and even before now. It makes a little sense, especially because really Liquid has yet to run the Lifestealer on anybody but Matumberman. We saw a newbie run it off lane with KP yesterday, and the point is going to be they can't really take an AM right now against the Medusa, so their options to directly counter that hero are a little bit more limited.
Yeah, I like Liquid's approach though. Yeah, definitely banning out the Draw Ranger. They don't want to get, I guess you could say, cheesed in any manner. It's dire. They have multiple auras already. Definitely banning out the Draw Ranger is a good decision.
It can be really good against Lifestealer too, as long as you don't let him get too close to you.
Yeah.
And there's especially the 2 respect bans, the Phoenix and the DP. You can't argue with that after the last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Death Prophet just, I think Fata's one of the, if not the best Death Prophet right now in the world.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh yeah.
Fits their playstyle perfectly.
Yep, they play super well around it, and he's just one of those players that he's super consistent. He's always in the proper position. You very rarely see him out of position.
No, I mean he and Super, I thought for a long time, were the 2 mid players that I think are the most team oriented and the best positioning around their team in engagements. I was gonna actually, you guys brought it up with the Death Prophet, but I was gonna mention that for the Slardar too, that the Slardar really allows them to pick and choose their targets in these team fights. They used it very, very well in the last game.
We also said the Death Prophet and the Phoenix respect ban. Now we have the Enigma respect ban. They don't want DJ coming out with what he had yesterday.
It's good against Lifestealer if he rages.
Yeah.
That's how you lose games, man.
It's also it's these clutch moments, you know? Clutch moments can really mess you up. Fnatic goes for the Earth Spirit themselves. Pretty decent pickup, you know, it can be very good versus Lifestealer, but it can also be very costly versus Lifestealer. It depends on if you get your silence or your stun pre-rage.
Block pick on Jarax, of course.
Block pick on Jarax as well.
GJ is no mean Earth Spirit player himself.
They need stuff that can react to that, because he will be roaming a lot early game. I guess they don't really have greedy picks yet, so it isn't that big of a deal, but they can go anywhere with their supports right now, except for Disruptor. So.
What fits really well with their lineup right now? They still have their Tusk if they do want to. They do have 3 melee then, but the line is just much safer. Can't argue with that at all.
They might be prepping slightly for a possible Medusa pick here, since line as mana drain can be a really good solution.
Yeah, really good point.
There's even a secret game once that they played against a Medusa where Misery was playing line. He went 1-1-4, and I thought about the damage that does to a Medusa, and it's something like 600 damage per second if you calculate how much value you're getting from a mana point.
Right.
It's really incredible.
Difference here, though, being Fnatic has a lot of options to get in there and stop that channel. Of course, Lion's not necessarily a hero that you want to use your disable on, but the thing I like about this Fnatic draft so far is they've got 3 heroes that can jump in there and initiate and make those fights happen, and as you guys have been pointing out on a lot of the panels, tends to be the team that gets that first initiation is going to take the fight.
That also gives them a lot of evenness amongst their draft. They have a lot of physical damage right now and a lot of magical mixture, so they don't have anything really lacking. The only thing, I guess, is a little bit of deep push, but I'm sure that they will address to that pretty soon. And Phantom Lancer, another hero that we've been seeing picked a little bit more versus the Lifestealer, but I think that this hero has actually, I want to say he's lost majority of the time. I think he has a very low win rate here.
Mid one has played it for Fnatic. They've run this safe lane the majority of the times. Some other teams will tend to run this mid against the Invoker, but this probably is going to be safe lane PL. Although I think they will mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's 1 for 4 during on the main stage so far for Phantom Lancer, that is.
So I'm really wondering what Fada's hero is going to be.
So there's the Riki like we were talking about. Incredibly good versus the Beastmaster, with the of course with the Lifestealer infested. You were the one even who brought it up, you know. A smoke screen with an infest bomb with open wounds, it's pretty much a 6-second stun until people have BKBs.
None of these heroes have solutions except for having Avenge stand nearby, and that kind of works, but not for ganks, because ganks, you're not always going to be there with Avenge.
Yeah. Were you expecting the Riki to be banned out alongside the DP?
I don't think,
no,
I was thinking about that, but I don't think you can argue with any of the 4 bans that Fnatic have made. Those heroes,
I agree.
You know, Liquid's so dangerous with all 4, and that's kind of the thing. You have a team that's capable of playing this many strats at this level. You got to let something through.
Sure. I guess what I'm saying is when you weigh up the odds, is it better to let the Phoenix go through than the Riki?
Nah, I think Fnatic are okay against a Riki. It's a scary thing to play against, but again, with those 3 initiation options, they're not going to have to ball up during fights. This is a team that I think when they're playing their best, again, they're playing by feel, and if they position properly relative to one another, I don't think Liquid is necessarily going to have an easy time getting those multi-hero smokes.
I like the DK ban. It's exactly what I was thinking about. Liquid needs something to just round up their whole draft together, and I think the ones that stood out in my mind was Dragon Knight, Alchemist, or even if they want to go like very different, it's like the Leshrac, who's extremely good versus Phantom Lancer, or I mean Fata used to love Razor, but he's kind of been drifting away from it.
The Alchemist was the one that occurred to me first, and that's a hero that Fata plays very
so
well.
Alchemist,
There you go.
Like we were saying, Alchemist or Leshrac were the bigger options there.
Yeah, and Fnatic's really lacking single target damage right now. I think Invoker's their pick here, because they need a way to kill
Can we go
Alchemist.
back to a Mushi PL with mid 1 on the Invoker? He's their Invoker play.
Yeah, I guess that could happen
They
too.
need burst, and they have physical damage, but they don't have any type of big burst damage unless the Beastmaster gets extremely farmed with like Roar and a book 3 really early.
They may not be the best picks here, but I want to see Fnatic with a confidence pick here. I kind of want to see either a Medusa or a Shadow Fiend from Mushi. And I know the Shadow Fiend play looked a little bit uneven yesterday, but it's a classic hero. It's a hero. At this point, Fnatic need their comfort picks.
I'm just going to go back to what Charlie said though, and that's that Arteezy said he can't play Shadow Fiend right now, and if Arteezy can't play Shadow Fiend, then
It's kind of okay here. It has a minus armor aura. It's not super terrible versus Lifestealer for that reason. If they're hitting Lifestealer and they have that extra minus armor, it helps it a lot. And it does give you a lot of nukes. It gives you some team fight. I don't think the hero is amazing right now by any means, but Mushi has been playing it okay.
yeah.
Medusa is definitely the comfort one, but like Kevin was bringing up, you know, there's going to lack damage, and Lion they pretty much prepped for that initially in the draft from Team Liquid.
And there's the Medusa.
And they do the Medusa, but
I just feel like this wastes the Beastmaster. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I like Liquid draft better.
I have to agree, honestly. I like Liquid's draft a lot better.
I actually think Fnatic can take this game. I really do. I think they have the right way to get into fights, and I think they have 2 cores that scale very well that they're comfortable playing.
They need Mushi to do well in the laning phase, though.
They really do.
They really need him to crush the laning phase.
Look for that first 8 minutes.
Yep.
All right, thanks very much, all 3 of you. We get more thoughts from them, of course, at the end of our second game. Regardless of how it goes, Fnatic are on the line, though. They need to win this one to stay in the tournament. Let's find out whether they can do it with Gods and Capitalist.
That's right, Paul. Elimination match indeed. Game left away for Fnatic from being taken out of this tournament, and they go back to what they know the most. Comfort picks, you could say, but Gods, is it going to be enough? A Mushi Medusa, a DJ Earth Spirit?
It's comfort picks, but I feel like Liquid have put together like one of their just classic Liquid drafts, which I mean, it's tough to beat.
Potential strategic win. We'll have to see. Game number 2 starts now. And we are going to start off with some action almost right away, potentially, as Fnatic go for the 5-man smoke straight up to the top lane. They may be going for the wraparound to see if they can pick off Mind Control, who's already heading out to try and get his ward down. Looks like they want to try and contest the Liquid's Alchemist as best as possible, see if they can deny him that bounty rune. But Liquid may not be so easily sniped. They do get at least a good aggressive mid ward that is unlikely to get denied. Most of the time these mid wards are farther on the right hand side, so could be that one's going to be missed entirely. Fnatic not finding their first blood opportunity will instead just bounce back and to wait for some information perhaps from that ward before deciding where they want to go for the bounty rune.
There are a lot of early detection on that dire side. Sentries on both Ohio and 343 where they've split the 2 sentries, and a dust on DJ. So they're ready to deal with the Riki early on. And if you can catch him with an Earth Spirit roll,
that
ward,
ward,
fast kill.
It was a good read, but is it going to be good enough? It looks like they may still be able to get that bounty rune, and sure enough, they do pick it up on the Alchemist, but they may still get the first blood. They slow mind control down. DJ trying to catch up. He's got another roll in 4 seconds, but not going to be good enough. 343, not close enough. Seemed like Liquid did choose at just the right time to start bursting through that top lane and pick up the bounty rune for Fada. Despite Fnatic having the information from that mid ward, they just weren't fast enough to be able to stop the bounty rune being picked up, and it turns even worse as they actually give away both.
Yeah, double bounty rune. We're going to keep looking for the roll in mid. DJ does not have the Orb of Venom, so the amount of pressure he can apply is somewhat negated because of it. Partly also why they can't get that first blood without the additional slow coming out from an Earth Spirit, and Bata going to be very comfortable against those early rolls with the starting 4-man shield.
As you can see, our bottom lane is being completely abandoned. The Beastmaster is already full-time jungle against a Riki that will have certain dangers inherent to it. But it also means Liquid are actually very free to start pushing out the bottom lane immediately. It looks like almost like Jarex did just a single pull right away.
Oh no, he wants to just farm. He's going to do the pull through.
Yeah.
And I think for Jarex, it's about getting CS as well as just levels here, and it means you're spreading more farm and XP to your carry because you're not in the lane leeching XP. And Lifesteal is a hero with Feast, with a stout shield. He doesn't mind taking the creep wave a bit. He's got Tangos as well as a salve, so
right.
They're just kind of being as efficient as possible using the pull camps.
So Jarex will try and clean up the rest of this medium camp, maximizing his jungling potential, while Kuro tries to play the harassive role, will throw down a counter wards. They're going to be traded away, but that's the advantage of the Invis hero. Yeah. He doesn't care if his counter has been taken out. He'll just continue to try and sap half the experience and see if he can't harass Ohio out of endeavoring to do jungle entirely.
Ohio, good news is you get the extra HP regen, but bad news is you've just lost your safety. Kuro snipes it. Ohio not getting the XP and farm he'd like in this jungle, thanks to Riki.
Kuro got to get some more damage on Ohio as he sees the opportunity to man up against him. Ohio turns with the help of the boar, but Kuro, he thinks he can actually win this man fight a little bit more. And he is just being that overall nuisance. Meanwhile, let's check out the mid lane, see how that one's going, as it seems Mushi is 13-8 against Fada's 5-1. The CS incredibly good. Oh, no, the courier! No, it's going to be sniped out by Kuro. He needs one more hit, but he can't quite get it. Now the block from, oh, beautiful timing from Ohio. He'll pick up the counter, go, no, not quite enough. The counter ward laid out, they have the vision. Kuro does end up going down indeed to Ohio. It comes down to the last second now to the top lane. Mind Control's going to be up next. He does get hit by the magic missile, fakes out the slithering crush to force Midwan to go for it, but may actually still be able to get the kill. Not quite enough though. Off the back of 30 HP, he will be able to back himself away. Forced out at least that mango from Midwan.
Yeah, great animation cancel on the crush to bait out the doppelganger. And Kuro going down for first blood. It almost for a second looked like they were trying to bait him with the courier, but it was actually more likely the miss micro, but Fnatic capitalized, but Kuro's already back being aggressive once again in the jungle. Ohio has more sentries here, but this is a big gold investment to deal with a Riki.
On the bottom lane, DJ is going to be caught. No opportunity to roll away. A combination of the Lion and Lifestealer is too deadly for him to deal with, and Kuro is falling behind now, even though he's sticking with Ohio. That loss, that first death, does give enough space that Ohio is actually able to just sit, keep farming away, and maintain high enough HP that Kuro can't force him out.
And this bottom dual lane for Liquid is just doing so well. Top lane though, Mind Control in some trouble here. Mid one's going to need at least one more lance, and
the kick is going to miss.
Yeah. Without the kick, this is not going to be a kill they can get.
4-minute rune, Kuro will be able to snag it here, double damage, and Mushi is actually in some serious trouble against that rune specifically. He's man-fighting Kuro to try and force him out entirely. They will be able to get the mistake, plus now the slowdown of the dust. As Kuro goes back to Invis, turns and fights as best he can underneath the smoke screen, tries to get away from the right clicks, will be able to just in time. As DJ goes for a kick, almost nails Kuro, but he sidesteps that one, and the healing salve will bring him back up to full. Kuro.
He doesn't know any chill.
Yeah. He pulls it, now realizes the counter ward is down from Fnatic.
Liquid are just getting so much more out of the lanes, and most of it's coming from this bottom lane. You've got a Lifestealer free farming the lane, and a Lion who's free farming, like, not really farming the jungle, but he's getting XP as well as levels himself. He's going to hit level 4 already very early on, and the Tumberman is just huge as a result.
Yeah, even using the Infest there to quickly clear through this stack a bit faster.
And the efficiency from Liquid in this early game is just what really is most impressive right now.
Yeah, particularly for the Lion. Mid one, top lane in some trouble. The smoke screen's going to be particularly problematic as Mind Control might be able to finish him up even after the Doppelganger as they go for it. Mid one gets the farthest jump away and will be able to healing salve himself to safety. But still, they put the pressure required and will be able to keep his farm down. In comparison to the Lifestealer, he's actually sitting at half the CS.
Yeah, laning state, a huge win for Liquid. Mid one has just not been able to get any farm whatsoever. We saw this a bit last game where Mind Control just did not get zoned at all. This time around it's Avenge, which is an even weaker zoning hero than the Witch Doctor of game number 1, and Liquid putting a ton of pressure on Fnatic early on. They're not done here at top lane as well.
And they try and go in again with mid one quite low. The sprint comes out, Mind Control not actually gunning for it. And instead, it will just be the Fnatic supports trying to secure that rune for Mushi, filling up that bottle. And they're actually going to try and cut across. Moving the Dusa with them is something that is a bit unusual, but it may just end up working.
Anticipating a Lifestealer TP, I think.
And jump in, Mind Control is going to be hit by that rolling boulder, immediately wiping him out with the Mystic Snake, and now they're going to reveal Kuro as well. He's got the jump away, but nothing to jump to as there's no TPs whatsoever from Liquid, but it doesn't seem to matter. A dive all the way into the tier 2, but that's where Fnatic halts. Back up and maybe try and go for this tier 1 as a full 4-man force.
Unfortunately, mid one didn't have the mana for one more Spirit Lance to get this follow-up kill, but if Fnatic get a tier 1 tower, it's a good rotation, but Sada's TPing, Lifestealer has a TP, they could try and fight this one.
In the meanwhile, there it is. TP start coming in, and they'll back away just off of a Kuro TP because you never know what's gonna be following that TP as well.
And is a Lifestealer infested inside of him? If you haven't seen the Lifestealer recently, he was in fog while that was happening. You're always a little bit concerned, but the Tumberman will show himself once again at this bottom lane.
He just wants to be able to finish up his armlet, and it may cost them their tier 1 offlane tower, but it's not the biggest loss in objectives in the world. Phantom Lancer will be able to pick up that last hit. It's still costing Fnatic their Medusa sitting in the top lane, the same lane as the Phantom Lancer. This is very clearly not very efficient farming pattern, but it does work to get at least a little bit of space in the top lane. DJ is getting his levels in mid in the meanwhile.
They're going to bring Mushi back now as DJ probably going to go on their own, but more importantly, Beastmaster's hit level 6, so we can look for our first couple of raw rotations from Ohio. Needs to find some kills off of this. Has the dust for when this smoke pops.
Yeah, and he's got the, yep, there it is, the smoke. Now, the dust, Ohio? Oh, no, okay. All right, they still got, oh, maybe they don't. They're going to need a kick to be able to stop Kuro, the follow-up magic missile, and they will indeed kill him. No primal roar required. Wasn't the cleanest kill in the world, but they do get it anyway.
Yeah, small little plays like that just make you kind of like question Fnatic as far as where they stand after that first game, because that was a very slow reaction to pop the dust out of Ohio, and at the end of the day, like, that was just lucky that they still find that kill.
And it was the same kind of problems that we saw in game number 1 as well that cost Fnatic much of their lead past the 35-minute markers. Too many missed positions, too many missed spells, or even just pickoffs that should have gone their way, but ended up going awry. Now Mushi gonna be dove on here, managed to get off the ultimate. That's important because that stun might be enough. They turn to all the stone, but he's still slowed down. They will have TPs coming in. 343 is here, ready to go to help
Lion was like
his carry.
mid-cast animation for either a stun or possibly a finger. Jarek's just hit level 6 at 8 minutes into the game because of that efficient dual lane at bottom, and that was a sure kill on Mushi if he got that off. Luckily for Fnatic, they dodged that one.
Mushi's quick reactions does save his own life, and Fnatic will have a bit of space, it seems, to work with. Mid-One, the only one able to use that space. The rest of his allies actually have to head back to base. Seems like that 4-man smoke gank all the way, deep into that tier 2 area to get the Riki, and then that play at mid. It cost Fnatic a lot of room. They all had to just kind of waste a lot of time essentially getting a pick off like that, while Liquid can afford to be a lot more efficient with their movements. If this Lifestealer gank works out, Liquid, you could say, very easily won the laning phase, but...
And Mushi's not going to farm any further away from his tower, I'd like to think, at this point of the game.
Yeah,
he will go for a 10-minute rune.
He may come out just thinking that the rest of his supports are going to be here soon, but it may not be fast enough as the Finger of Death makes that look very easy for Liquid. Fnatic, unfortunately, just not quite close enough to be able to save their core. They leave the double damage there in place, hoping to be able to bait something out. They will be able to get him. Kuro, he took it, chomped down on that double damage, and will pay the ultimate price.
It is still just a Riki that they're killing with the smoke rotation, so it's not the biggest kill, but importantly for Fnatic is they're getting towers and objectives. The tier 1 mid will go down. Whether a deny can happen from Jarek, let's have to wait and see. Not the case.
Liquid are still holding the top 2 net worth. Now the Alchemist is kind of expected, but it is the Lifestealer's lead that tells a lot bigger story about the way that Liquid have been able to utilize this laning phase to get their cores ahead. He's over by 1,500 gold ahead of the Phantom Lancer.
And I mean, Liquid have a level 4.5 Riki who's behind, and they're still up by over 3,000 experience here at 10 minutes in. That is just absurd how well this Liquid early game is going. They're crushing the lanes. Alchemist is already a big problem. The Lifestealer with the infest into the Riki is going to be a complete monster as well. Liquid are looking really strong here. They can just keep making these infest plays with Kuro and Matumba Man, and it's going to get so difficult for Fnatic to farm the map with the pressure Liquid can apply.
Yeah, when he's such a low-value kill, right? Kuro will always trade himself for these smoke ganks any day of the week. It means the rest of his team is getting so much more out of the map. He may be caught again here, but Fnatic... the whole crowd saw that one. Double Observer Ward misplay there, no counter ward in place. They will still be able to pressure a tier 1 tower, but this is what Fnatic kind of have to do in some ways to be able to catch up back into this game in gold, and also be able to take objectives before Liquid hits their peak, because they're really about to with this Lifestealer completing the armlet, and is now going to go around the map with the help of the Riki invised up. We'll see if they could jump on him. Mid-One will be able to get a silence. That means the Lion gets the follow-up disables. And Matumba Man gets another one.
Such a good duo to gank heroes like PL Medusa with, because you can stop the Stone Gate, stop the Doppelganger escape, and those kinds of pickoffs. You're doing this all with an Alchemist farming. Liquid are playing 4v5 right now, and the 4v5 scenario is like trading evenly, and then you've got this Alchemist free farming away, who's going to hit Relic already 12 minutes in. He's going to have Radiance in no time at all. Fnatic need to find a string of kills and objectives here.
They need something big, and this might just be what turns the game around a little bit for them. The silence combination, Primal Roar also being used. They want to make sure there's no hope of Matumba Man being able to escape from this one, but he might actually be able to do it. Pops a rage, gets the finger from the side, and they've already taken out one. Matumba Man hungry for more, will have the help of 343, but no, they're actually going to be able to get a beautiful silence, another armlet toggle, but Matumba Man, he can't survive through it. Kuro gets in just in time to dodge the magic missile and gets his level 6, but he may still be caught as they've lost his other support. Fnatic, though, seem to be out of counter vision, and it will just be a 2-for-1 still, though. At least Fnatic get some hold in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding these kills.
Oh my god! Mystic Snake maxed out.
It's still just where, like, I mean, I talk about it being 4v5, it feels like even 3v5. Mind Control hasn't even gotten involved. He hasn't had to. He just wants to hit that Blink Dagger timing pre-15 minutes. He's going to get around that point. Barta's going to have Radiance at 14 minutes. I mean, Liquid are doing everything, like, they're slightly behind on a couple of kills, but they're playing, like, a man or two down. And that's going to change once we reach that mid-game point, and at that stage, like Fnatic, whether they're going to have the damage to deal with a Lifesteal and an Alchemist still remains to be seen, and it's really looking like the answer is going to be no. Like,
Yeah.
you raw someone, you haven't even got like an obvious follow-up spell to burst down a hero who gets raw.
Right. They don't have the levels on some of these supports to actually get some real damage out of them like DJ. He's only level 7. So it's going to be a bit lacking for quite a long time. Liquid, until that last Smoke Ink where they actually got caught on Matumba Man, everything was kind of business as usual for Liquid. When Kuro goes down, they're like, that's fine. That's more time for us to be able to farm up. And now this may be first time for Liquid to be the ones jumping forward. Kuro, he's going to get kind of baited out by this ward, but the real bait might be Mind Control's initiation. He's looking for it, but still doesn't find the opening. He's a bit scared, not wanting to throw away his life if all 5 of the Fnatic were there.
Yeah, Liquid's play at this stage of the game is to find pickoffs, and as soon as you see Fnatic engage on you with 3 heroes, potentially more, you don't want to go into that one. You're looking for the one-man farming, like the PL pickoff that we've seen happen before, and Mind Control's been scouted.
Can Fnatic actually dive into this tier 2, though, to be able to take advantage of this knowledge? They slow down Mind Control, definitely knows he's been revealed now. But it doesn't really seem to matter. They can't dive into Fada with the acid spray already out. So Fnatic back themselves away.
Jarek's 15-minute Blink Dagger on his Lion.
Jesus.
He has played a phenomenal game here with Matumba Man in the safe lane, and Liquid going to remain aggressive. They know, like, these kind of aggressive ganks that they're going for, they don't have to come up with kills. If they find a pick off or even trade evenly, as long as their Alchemist is farming, it's a net gain for them.
Jump in, here's the Infest Blink. They will be able to get the immediate swap off from 343. That'll certainly help out, and they actually might be able to pop Kuro. He pops the ultimate, immediately stops it and goes for the Blink away. Not gonna make it away. Finger actually coming out, but 343 survives. And now they get the burn damage still from DJ, who looks for more. Jarek's, he pops the Blink and will be able to jump away to the right-hand side over the cliff. And Fnatic know it's a useless pursuit. At least they get a little bit something. The important thing is they saved Mushi's life. Really great positioning there from 343.
Yeah, he was ready for that jump, and Liquid, another unsuccessful smoke rotation. Jarek maybe getting a bit greedy here. The Urn will stop his blink, and
if he gets the silence, hits him. Now he just needs the stun follow-up. Will be able to hit Jarek's. That'll nail him for the rest of the team to be able to follow up. As the Mystic Snake again stopping that Blink Dagger. Still has the Urn on him. The Axis cut him down.
yeah, there's like a half a second window when you first get hit by the Urn where you can still blink, but once you've missed that, you're a dead man walking. And nice rotation from Fnatic. They find another pickoff, and these kills will add up bit by bit. It's still Liquid who are out farming Fnatic.
Oh no, mid one. He gets caught while trying to TP away. Still has the Doppelganger though, and the Lifestealer now enters the battlefield. Can he find the right one? Looks like he does successfully get it, but he backs away, not wanting to challenge that. The Phantom Lancer actually being farmed up enough thanks to that very early Diffusal play that he could take a fight like that.
Yeah, fighting these melee front lines like Slaughter, Lifesteal with Diffusal, very effective.
The stun lands, but can they actually do this one? They swap him back into the silence. We'll be able to get a little bit more. Fada now hit by the Primal Roar. The stun misses. Nice dodge from Fnatic, and they surround the Alchemist. Fnatic heating up, look for more. Jarek's gonna be the target. He still cannot get that blink away. The team looks to be able to break down those trees. Finds the double for mid one and pressures the mid lane. Unbelievable. How many pickoffs were just kind of useless for Fnatic in the first 10 minutes of the game, but now they're actually finding the important ones.
Yeah, they're finding the big ones. The vision game has just been so good for them. The Sentry Observer combos around the Secret Shop killing off the Riki, and the vision in the Radiant jungle is just completely preventing Liquid's ability to farm. They're going to fight like small trades on the map. Matumba Man getting a tier 1 top, but it's Fnatic getting the much bigger kills and objectives in the form of the tier 2 tower mid. Really strong start to game number 2 from the Southeast Asian squad.
This looked like it was going to be very cut and dry for Liquid, the way that they were getting. You kept on talking about, like, okay, the Radiance is almost here. You've got the Armlet. This Lifestealer's about to come into play. You've got the Blink Dagger on the Slardar. Everything seemed to be on the precipice of going Liquid's way entirely. But then, Fnatic just keep on finding the right kills, and they might still be able to do what? Oh no, that is so much damage. That is an Echo Saber for you, folks. That jump in, stun, amplify damage, and Matumba Man almost one-shots him from there.
Man, there's no real solution to that as a PL except to just get more tanky items. You're likely going to see, like, typically you want to go into that Manta style, but even that's not, which isn't going to make you that much tankier to that kind of initiation.
Liquid, they're done with this. They're gonna try and get some more, and they're gonna find it too. DJ smoke screened up. Not really a hope or a prayer to be able to get away. They might be able to get more. Nice block out there from Jarex. Hope to be able to keep Ohio in place long enough for Mind Control to get here. The swap goes down, and now Ohio turns around with a Primal Roar, but it gets hit first by Spot as Unstable Concoction, and that'll be a twofer.
They farm up the Necro Books. They're going to get Roshan. That Liquid initial pickoff at top and the play at bottom, it's all coming out from Mind Control Slaughter. He gets a kill top, then instantly he's in the bottom lane with Sprint chasing down Fnatic, and suddenly it's 4 kills in a Roshan. That's all it's going to take for Liquid to pull back ahead here in the game. Well, game 2 decided for them if they can win this.
Minor speed bump for Liquid in the last 5 minutes, but they might finally do take that control that we were setting up. And now Fnatic, they're going to have to find another way through. Is it going to be continue to try and be aggressive, or do they dodge Liquid for the time being?
I don't think you want to play passively against an Alchemist, as well as against a team that is going to continue to use those infest bombs with Slaughter. If you're trying to farm the map and play the economy game, you're going to get picked apart. You're going to get not only picked apart, but out-farmed as well by the Alchemist and the Greevil's Greed. So, Fnatic, you've got to use smokes where you can. You're playing into an Aegis, but I still don't think they can just sit back and try to farm despite Liquid having that Aegis advantage.
Well, it seems you're absolutely right, Guns. At least Fnatic, at the very minimum, they're going to group up as 5. They're going to start making their way through the Radiant jungle. And not able to find anything just yet from Liquid, trying to protect their Dusa. This does kind of suck, the fact that they have both Dusa as well as the Phantom Lancer, 2 heroes, big late game heroes that want to be able to farm up, but they need every single hero they can to be able to protect one or the other. So it means our Phantom Lancer is just going to have to take care of some neutrals at best. They will still be able to put some pressure on this bottom lane. Liquid are actually hesitant to jump through that lane. They will be able to get the amp damage on the courier. It jumps away, but not able to get fast enough. Mind Control has it locked on. And that'll help him complete his 4-staff for some max mobility. Fnatic, though, I like this play. If they can force this push in and make Liquid TP back, and Fnatic can still back away and not actually get into a team fight, that helps them get a little bit more control of this map. But
unfortunately, it looks like Alk alone is enough to deter Fnatic trying to push. And Liquid's ready to jump at mid.
yeah, so sure enough, a TP into mid
Might
lane.
try bait an illusion.
Bait an illusion, but Kuro, he sees the real one, and Jarex can leave with a Hex. Mid one will get popped just like that.
For a second, it looked like he knew what was going to be awaiting for him when he used that preemptive doppelganger, but he just didn't micro the illusions instantly and revealed which was the actual Phantom Lance to Kuro.
Now Fnatic don't really have anything to defend that tier 2. Liquid just really reading them like a book now. Knowing that bottom lane push was just a feint, they sat there in the mid lane with their smoke waiting for Fnatic to inevitably make the defensive rotation back, whether it was through TPs or maybe they all back through river. Either way, they were going to get caught by something from Liquid's positioning.
Liquid getting very close to hitting some scary items with the Assault Caress almost complete on Lifestealer. Mobility items like Force Staff coming on Mind Control, and Fat has kind of reached that farming trinity with the Manta Radiance as well as Boots of Travel ready to go.
So the inevitable Naga Siren suffocating style push from the Alchemist is just going to make this map look more and more closed off for Fnatic as they struggle to find space for their cores to be able to farm. They still have 3,200 though on Mushi's Dusa. We've seen this time and time again, the Manta style and Linken's gods. Is this a game where you want to see a Linken's from this Dusa?
It's like an okay defensive item. I almost prefer just straight into the Skadi though, because it gives you a little kiting potential to help deal with the Lifestealer and fight him. As far as looking at spells to block, it's like okay against the Lion spells, the Hex, the Finger, the Alchemist stun potentially blocked, and the Open Wounds, but knowing Mushi, like, it has been his strong, stable go-to build. If you're Fnatic, I mean, you can see it with their draft. They're just picking to their comfort zone, so if anything, I expect Mushi to go to the item build he's most comfortable with.
Even just blocking a Hex could give him enough time to be able to get off his ultimate before the follow-up. And
great scan. They see Fnatic coming towards the top lane.
That's perfect. They may still get caught though. The silence not going to be on time though. Matumba Man still hit by the Primal Roar. They're going to be able to get the kick in, but if Mind Control does get some control of his own with a Slithering Crush. Matumba Man almost going down here underneath that one. Fights against Necronomicon, gets the infest, but it's Kuro who's going to immediately get revealed out, taken down. Matumba Man finally does lose his Aegis, but Fada and Mind Control are still plenty healthy. Mid one fights up against Fada, does have to back himself away though. Matumba Man comes back into play, 3-4-3, and the Phantom Lancer are both going to end up going down. Mushi just trying to escape back to his tier 3 tower, but Liquid knows there's nothing left from Fnatic. They just keep on trucking all the way into the base if necessary, but it's just not. Fada picks up the triple kill, and they now look towards that tier 2.
You scan the
Oh, look
Fnatic
at that.
rotation coming in. Oh my.
They're not even going to let DJ try and get away. They even TP back from Fada. He is going to set himself though. DJ could hide.
As soon as he sees the Radiance damage, we'll roll on out, but having Matumba Man positioned such that he met the Fnatic rotation towards top, and he's got an Aegis, so they throw a ton of spells on him. They don't even kill him all that quickly. The Beastmaster's the first to fall, and by the time they bring down Matumba Man, the fight is already heavily in Liquid's favor.
DJ's just looking for a lane to push. It means he's going to have to traverse the map here to get to bottom lane if he wants to try and do something there, but decides against it. The rest of his team is about to come back up. And Liquid just took a tier 2 at top lane. Didn't get too much more, but this is getting nastier and nastier. The Alchemist is about to get that low cooldown item in the Octarine, which means Chemical Rage almost always up. And it means those Manta Illusions are always split pushing.
You go back to the Fnatic draft, where's the burst damage come from to deal with an Alchemist? And
Yeah.
a farm Phantom Lancer perhaps gives it to you later on in the game, but other than that, a lot of their damage is just like overtime damage. Your DPS from a Medusa, you're magnetized from an Earth Spirit. You've got these auras which give you this like decent physical damage, but there's no like one hero burst which is going to help kill off an Alch.
They're going to show the Dusa in the bottom lane as she attempts to stop this push. The rest of Fnatic will go for a four-man smoke up, and they're going to cut through the river, but they're going to run straight into Liquid. Yet to see whether or not this is fortuitous for them. This smoke does get popped by Kuro. Not looking good. Mind Control gets the stun with the infest out, and already one down from Fnatic, and they're going to lose more. Ohio's going to be pursued out. Open wounds not letting him get away from that smoke screen. And Liquid, take 2, are going to lose Jerix, but Midwan is going to be caught. Both the smoke screen as well as the Slithering Crush makes it all too easy for Fada and Matumba Man's physical damage to cut right through them. And now they're going to try and go for those Necronomicons. They can look towards towers, and even, not sure how much longer until Roshan's up, but that is an objective that it seems like Liquid should have well in hand in the coming 5 minutes or so.
Liquid, as far as like vision and positioning go, are just they just seem like to be the best in the tournament. They position on the high ground. They use their scan so well. The Riki of Kuro just constantly providing scouting information to his team. Even when he's gone down and died, he's died 6 times this game, but it's never really felt like he's died in vain. He's dying to gain his team a farm advantage or a vision advantage, and what we're seeing now is a Liquid team with a massive lead here in game number 2, looking to knock Fnatic out of the tournament. And Kuro, as well as more importantly Matumba Man, he's not done. Anytime he's got Infest, he's either inside of Kuro or inside of Mind Control looking for kills.
Yeah, that's not slowing down his net worth one bit, because they have yet to be punished by this jump. They're just making the right decisions every single time. They'll see a potential pick off that they could go for, but it's always the times when Fnatic are sitting behind that Liquid choose not to engage. And as a result, Matumba Man, very clean game by him, has only died once. 7 kills, 7 assists.
We'll be a Mushi Skadi now, just 100 gold to go for that, and look by this time, much better at dealing with that initiation from Liquid, where you might not be able to get off your Stone Gaze if you're caught inside the smoke. So this is a very tanky item to have, and also good at fighting into the Lifestealer.
You know you're desperate when you just start throwing random dust out. DJ, nobody will be able to catch the Riki somewhere between their tier 3 at both mid and bottom, but not going to be there. They finally do reveal. Matumba Man pops out of the Kuro as they go for the push at the bottom tier 2 tower. That's going to be the last remaining outer tower of Fnatic given up, and Fnatic now has to play the very long and grueling defense of the high ground against Liquid's much more farmed heroes.
Yeah, and Liquid going to have a potential Aegis to push high ground with as well. We saw what that can do last time on Matumba Man, and this comes down to this big problem for Fnatic. It's like there's this lifesteal on the front line who you can't even really easily engage on. Same for the Alchemist with how farmed and tanky he's getting. Bata's already got the plate mail, so a Shiva's Guard going to come up to help negate some of this physical damage out of Fnatic's side. And at that point, not only is Alchemist incredibly tanky, but he's got all this lifesteal from the Octarine core that he gets out from all his spells that I mean, he's constantly regenerating HP through these fights, and I just don't think Fnatic can bring either him or the Lifestealer down if there's an
Careful,
Aegis.
Mushi. He sees Fada, but there is always 4 heroes. 4 other heroes. When you see Fada, there's 4 heroes that could jump on Mushi. An infested Blink Bomb or Blink Strike Bomb if it's inside the Riki. You've got Jerix who can blink in as well. So there's just sort of this potential of just instant death for any of these heroes, but Fnatic, they know they can't give up too much control, and I love this decision. They're actually going to go for the swap, trying to get the Mina silence. They will be able to get the Primal Roar at least, and they might just kill. No, they get the Infest out. Matumba Man looking okay with that range. Now the stun, Slithering Crunch, follow-up Hex, double Impale as well. Matumba Man gets his hands on those cores and starts ripping them asunder.
Wow, that rage reaction from Matumba Man, so good. It meant that only physical damage was there. Beastmaster can't use like the Mana Burn from the Necrobook, they can't use Spirit Lances, they can't follow it up with a Boulder Smash as well as the silence from DJ, and that rage just wins Liquid the fight. They don't even finish off Roshan, they're already breaking your high ground. Liquid love to punish teamfight mistakes, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
They get the stun, Manta pops out there for Mushi as he goes back to his tier 4s to try and defend, but Liquid with that little poke realize they're not going to get anything for free. Not anymore. They're just going to go for that tier 3 tower at least. Stun goes out. Now the jump in, Slithering Crunch. They immediately turn around. And what a punish. Fnatic, they're going to lose both their heroes it seems as Mushi gets drained of his mana, drained of his life. And the mid lane of Rax about to fall. Fnatic just getting drawn out into the opening for Liquid to continue to punish as they're now going to look for even more. They've got the tier 2 at the top lane already gone, so they can push this tier 3 now and see if they can force yet another numbers advantage fight for them inside the bush. They get DJ. There it is.
Tried to come around from behind, probably to snipe Lifestealer, who was starting to get low on HP, but now another lane exposed. Top Rax likely to fall. Liquid have all the answers to this Fnatic late game draft.
They certainly do. Fnatic not able to get any holds here to defend their barracks. Are going to be left with just one lane it seems, as they're not going to go for yet another 3 versus 5 fight. And this means that Liquid actually still have the space to go back for Roshan if they want to. Now, what Fnatic desperately need is some sort of catch here before Liquid can get outside of the base, but that's just not going to happen. 3-4-3 couldn't get the swap down in time, and even then, you're unlikely to win that fight anyway. So 2 lanes to Rax by 30 minutes. Liquid with the largest lead, one of the largest leads that we've seen by 30 minutes.
Yep.
Here at this tournament.
And Alk's already back to farming. He's going to pick up an Aghanim Scepter for his team, it looks like. We'll see who gets rewarded by this one. But as it stands, Fnatic in a desperate position. They need some kind of huge play around the Roshan pit, I'd say, to give them even the slightest chance of not even winning this game, but just staying alive in this game.
Roshan cost them a lot last time. They are going to see that this is an illusion. They're going to try and take Roshan for themselves and force Liquid here into what could be our final clash between these 2 teams here in Manila.
Ags Lion, here we go.
Kuro with the Infest Bomb ready to go. He's going to jump on Ohio, take out the Primal Roar out of the equation, and get 3-4-3 saving mechanism out of there as well. Fnatic now left their 2 cores, but they're not going to be big enough to take this fight alone. DJ, he tries to get in, gets a decent ultimate, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. The smoke screen goes out, there goes a finger. Mushi left alone against the world as Liquid. They all get stoned up, but it doesn't matter. They persevere and take out Mushi, forcing the quick GG. The crowd favorites, they love these guys, they love DJ, but they're going to have to wave him goodbye as this was their last game here on the main stage.
A top 6 finish for Fnatic, very formidable, but Liquid kind of living up to the expectations on this team. One of the tournament favorites, played absolutely immaculate Dota here in this best of 3, and they had 2 series today, but it didn't seem to phase them. They didn't look tired. It was a clean 2 over Na'Vi and now a clean 2-0 over Fnatic as they get themselves into the top 4 of this tournament.
Yeah, clean really is the